In this short demo, I'm going to focus on Y-axis turning using ESPRIT EDGE on a mill turn machine with a programmable tool spindle axis. The demonstration you're seeing here is running on a DMG Mori NTX 2000, but the same approach applies to any modern mill turn platform with a programmable tool spindle axis. For this demonstration, I'm using a Ceratizit FreeTurn tool and a Sandvik Coroplex YT multifunctional tool. Y-axis turning is really about enabling controlled, multi-directional engagement during turning operations, and that capability is driven by how ESPRIT EDGE manages tool orientation as part of the turning cycle. Now I'll define the Ceratizit FreeTurn insert in ESPRIT EDGE. I'm starting from the holder, then going into the tooling options and selecting a turning insert. Most of the base fields are already populated, so the key thing I want to show you is the insert shape. On the Insert tab, FreeTurn is available directly in the shape list. That means this is a natively supported insert type in ESPRIT EDGE, not a custom workaround. From here, I'm just dialing in the insert values that control the cutting edge geometry. I'll update the 3 nose radii, the centerline angle, and the insert thickness. These are the details ESPRIT EDGE uses to understand where the cutting edge is and how the insert behaves when the tool orientation changes during Y-axis turning. Once those are set, the tool definition is complete. Next is the Sandvik Coroplex YT multifunctional tool. I've got an empty holder version and a built version, and the important detail here is that this tool has 2 tool adapter positions. On the built tool, you can see the insert choices on each side. I'm using a round insert on one side and a diamond insert on the other. The reason this matters is that ESPRIT EDGE is tracking the cutting edge definition and the orientation for each insert location within the same tool assembly, which is exactly what you want before you start driving multi-directional turning motion. To put that into context, let's look at the same part using a standard turning approach. What you're seeing here is a standard turning simulation using conventional tooling and a traditional turning strategy. The toolpath itself is valid, but the engagement is limited to fixed directions relative to the part. As the geometry changes, the tool can't maintain access to all the areas of the feature. You can see that at the end of the simulation where material is left behind in certain regions. Addressing that would typically require additional operations, indexing, or alternative strategies. This is a common outcome when turning is constrained to a conventional orientation, even on machines that are capable of more advanced motion. All of the turning features are already created, so I'll start by selecting the one front OD contour. From there, I'll go to the Turning tab and choose a roughing operation just like any standard turning workflow. The tooling technology is already populated for speed, and we're starting with the Ceratizit FreeTurn insert. On the General tab, you'll notice that I can select any one of the available cutting edges for this tool. In this case, edges 1 through 3 are available, which is specific to the FreeTurn insert design. From here, I'll move to the Strategy tab and enable Tool Axis Variation. As soon as that's turned on, the Orientation tab becomes available, allowing us to control how the tool spindle axis is allowed to move during the cut. For this example, I'm limiting the orientation range to -45 degrees to +45 degrees. This keeps the motion controlled while still allowing the tool to engage the part from multiple directions. On the Rough tab, I'm using a profit turning strategy, and I'll use an X-only rapid move to clear the part at the end of the operation. What you're seeing here is the turning cycle already in progress. This is where the Y-axis turning really shows up. The tool orientation is changing continuously as it moves through the feature, allowing the insert to maintain engagement as the tool geometry changes. ESPRIT EDGE is managing that spindle axis motion automatically within the limits we defined, without any manual intervention during the cut. Next, we'll move into the center groove of the part. I'll select the middle OD contour feature and apply a roughing operation. For this cut, I'm using the round insert of the Sandvik Coroplex YT tool. The overall approach here is similar to the previous operation. Tool axis variation is enabled so ESPRIT EDGE can manage the tool orientation as part of the turning cycle. The difference is that this feature is more constrained, so I've limited the allowable tool spindle axis range to -7 degrees and +7 degrees. That small range is intentional. It gives the tool just enough freedom to maintain engagement and clearance without over-rotating inside the groove. You can see the round insert efficiently roughing out the material with slight controlled variation of the tool spindle axis as it moves through the feature. This is a good example of how y-axis turning doesn't have to mean large dramatic motion. Even small amounts of controlled orientation change can make a significant difference when the features are tightly constrained. Next, I'll move to the corners of the groove. I'll start by selecting the left rest OD groove feature and applying a roughing toolpath. For this operation, I'm using the diamond side of the Sandvik Coroplex YT tool to pick out the remaining material in the corner. This is a standard roughing strategy, and in this case, I'm not using any tool axis variation. The reason I want to show this is flexibility. Inside ESPRIT EDGE, it is very easy to move from one side of a multifunction tool to another, depending on what the geometry calls for. I'll apply the same toolpath to the right rest OD groove feature with a simple adjustment to the orientation angle so the diamond insert engages the opposite corner. Here you can see the tool picking out the remaining material cleanly in each corner, using the appropriate cutting edge for each side of the groove. To wrap up, we'll finish the part with our finishing passes. I'm going back to the front OD contour feature and applying a standard contouring operation. For this operation, I'll select the Ceratizit FreeTurn tool, choose the appropriate cutting edge, and select my feeds and speeds on the General tab. In the strategy settings, I'll turn tool axis variation on. Once that's enabled, ESPRIT EDGE gives us two ways to control the tool axis. Orientation vectors lets us control how the tool rotates by placing control points along the feature and assigning an orientation angle at each location. As the tool moves through the contour, ESPRIT EDGE transitions smoothly between those orientations. Lead angle, on the other hand, maintains a constant angle between the tool and feature normal. That approach is useful when holding a consistent lead angle is the priority for surface finish. For this example, I'm going to use orientation vectors because it gives very explicit control over how the tool behaves through the finish. The initial orientation of the tool comes from the orientation angle on the General tab. This first vector point defines where ESPRIT EDGE begins transitioning away from that initial orientation as the tool moves into the feature. Here, I'll select the first control point near the front of the feature and set the orientation to minus 100 degrees. From this point forward, ESPRIT EDGE will start morphing the tool orientation as the cut progresses. From here, I'm continuing along the contour, selecting the next point and then defining the orientation at that specific location. This one is set to minus 70 degrees. As the surface direction changes, each new point gives us a chance to guide how the tool responds. Here, I'll set the orientation to minus 45 degrees. Again, I'm selecting a point first, then defining tool orientation at the position on that feature. This one is minus 17 degrees. Each of these point and angle pairs acts as a local instruction for tool orientation. This next value is also minus 17 degrees, and I'll add one more control point further along the contour. This final orientation is set to minus 75 degrees. Taken together, these vectors define how the tool will rotate progressively as it follows the entire finishing contour, with ESPRIT EDGE handling the transitions automatically between each point. With the orientation vectors defined, I'll go to the Contour tab and add a lead in and lead out to keep the entry and exit clean for the finishing pass. Then I'll switch to the Links tab and add an X rapid exit so the tool retracts in a consistent, predictable direction at the end of the cut. Now we'll run the simulation. Watch how the tool orientation follows the contour, transitioning smoothly between the defined orientations while maintaining a controlled finishing engagement. Now that you've seen how this finishing strategy behaves on the OD, we'll apply the same approach to the grooves. I'll start by selecting the back face OD contour feature and applying another contouring operation. When the operation opens, you can see that the tool, cutting edge, and cutting conditions are already defined. Everything on the General tab is pre-selected for this pass. I'll move briefly to the Strategy tab just to show that the same options, including tool axis variation, are already enabled. From there, I'll go to the Orientation tab. The orientation vectors are already defined for this feature, so I'll click through the points along the groove. As I step through each point, you can see the tool reposition itself along the feature, reflecting the orientation angle defined at that location. This gives a clear preview of how the tool will behave through the groove before running the simulation. I'll repeat the same process for the front face OD contour. Again, the tool, edge, and cutting conditions are already set, and the orientation vectors are pre-filled. Clicking through the orientation point shows how the tool is guided along the groove, adjusting orientation as it moves through the feature. With both groove finishing operations generated, we can simulate the result. You can see the tool maintaining controlled engagement through both grooves, with the orientation changing smoothly based on the defined vectors. To wrap things up, what you've seen here is practical Y-axis turning driven by ESPRIT EDGE, applied across roughing and finishing operations on a mill turn machine with a programmable tool spindle axis. We started with correct tool definition, then showed how standard turning quickly becomes constrained, and finally, how tool axis variation and orientation control allow the tool to maintain engagement across complex geometry. Whether we're using lead angle control or orientation vectors, the key takeaway is that ESPRIT EDGE is managing the tool orientation automatically as part of the turning cycle, based on the intent we define. That lets you use advanced tooling like the Ceratizit FreeTurn and Sandvik Coroplex YT to their full capability without increasing programming effort or resorting to manual workarounds. The result is better machine utilization, more consistent processes, and a workflow that scales across different features and parts. Thanks for watching this walkthrough. If this was useful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we're always looking for ideas. Tell us in the comments what you want to see in the next demo.